as we proceed to give you what you need. Shout out Hughley. Better run the intro for you.
Young L on the beat.
Right. If you're tuning in, you don't want to miss this. It's exclusive. We're talking about the Esoteric Order of the Dogongs, or the Dagongs. Keep in mind the vowels are interchangeable. Now, they say hot topics. This is one of the hot topics that and we're gonna keep it clean, YouTube. They say this is one of the hot topics that's going around now. And we heard a whole bunch of people talking on it, but they way off. Now, when you talk about the Dogongs, Bible mentions of in the Let's Set the Record Straight book that the Dogongs are ancient Egyptians. Now, keep in mind, when you're talking about Dagon, you're dealing with the Nomos. From Cyrus B. Fish beans. Why you think the Pope got a fish hat? Okay, let's take you back. Now, in esoterics, we're dealing with stars and zodiac. Now, keep in mind the Nomos beings came here. You ever heard of a being named Credo Mutwa? Mu means one who's of Twa. Keep in mind the Dogons connect back with the Twa. Right? They are offspring of the Twa. Right? Now, we're about to get greasy up in here. Let me get that check. Hit that like button, man. We gotta keep it clean. Now, when you talk about Dogon, you're talking about Anu's brother, Alelu, who was part fish, part Anunnaki, part Nomos, mermaids, beings. Now, these beings came and taught the Dogon people. And it wasn't just the fish beings, it was several different species, and they made masks to emulate these people, which they stole and put it in the Man in Black movies and the extraterrestrial movies. All right, we're gonna get up to. Hey, baby, there go your package. We're gonna get up to the point where the order come in. But most of your holidays, like Christmas, Easter, and Halloween, is based on what the Nomos and Christianity is based on the order of the Dogons. Now keep in mind, these fish-like beings came and taught these Dogon people about the motion of the stars, or how the sun goes around 12 different star systems, and that in this time it's the best time to plant your food. And at this time is how you can you reap your harvest, Halloween, which turned into Halloween, and plant your food a little bit before spring equinox, Easter, Estes. It's all going back to Dogon information. So they talking about these stars. Now the Dogons going back at the time, they were in a place that you're calling now Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the origin of Christianity from the Dogon people. We're the oldest church on the planet, or the oldest temple on the planet dedicated to the cross and the winter solstice and the different motions and these different information is in Ethiopia. The oldest Christianity system is coming out of Ethiopia based on the Nomos. Now the Romans take this, boom, they inherited the fish man. That's why you see the Pope with a fish hat. And keep in mind, this is dealing with Piscean, two fish. Jesus bent down, or Jesus multiplied two fish. He took two fish. Keep in mind, this is Piscean. That's another connection. The yin and the yang. The Piscean age is going out, and now we in the Aquarians. We was in the Piscean age, the yin and the yang, the good and the bad. But now we know bad and good must exist, because it's part of the universal law, which is balance. Yeah, yin and yang. You see the yin and yang look like two fish. Right? You see it look like two fish, the Piscean age. The good and the bad, the black versus white. The black and white checkerboard floor. Good versus evil, dark versus light. What you need. They go and take the fish, the Pope, who has the same staff as the Nomos had. Go back and get a man, like I say, named Credo Mutwa, who breaks it down what the Nomos told the Africans. Some people don't like the word African. It's freakier to divide us up. Or they say African Vespucius. We never heard of him really. We don't got too much information on that cat. But like I say, yeah, the ages of information. That's what it is. Shout out D'Angelo. D'Angelo. You better not mess with D'Angelo. Telling you. Twist your cap right back. Hey, shout out Dre, bro. My big bro Dre. The first elder in the building. We cracking heads and we twisting caps as the sun proceeds or appears to go down. They call it sit, as in satuk. Now, we're talking about the esoteric Dogon order. So now keep in mind the Pope wears a fish hat from the Dogon from Elelu, who was the leader of these beings, these Nomos beings, by slicing his DNA. Now, the beings who follow the Pope, they're called the Cardinals, and they dress like red birds. Why is that? They telling you about religion and they dressing like fish beings and bird beings. This is extraterrestrial stuff. Why? Because the Cardinals is a particular group of beings who 1/3 of them chose to join on with the Nomos, and another 1/3 chose to join on with the Galactic Republic. And so you see the connection between the Draconarians and the good group was called the Blue Avians. The Blue Avians was the good group, right? So you see, but if you look at the storyline of Christianity, it's coming back from the sun, the motion of the sun, dealing in esoteric information, dealing with the motion of the sun through the 12 star constellations. And this later on became as a children's science, where we took and added characters to these particular teachings to where everybody became a person, including the SUN. Everybody became a person. And so to teach the children this science, because really the order of the Dogons is a esoteric order of the Dogons is children's science, but it's being perpetuated and emphasized as dogma in religion when it's pretty much just science and zodiac information. So the game, this is the end of the game. As we proceed to give you what you need, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you want to show us some love on the Cash App, take $1, $10, $5, whatever you got. $100 if you really want to put your brother in the game right now for back to school. Right, we got back to school coming up, and that's going to take us down. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully not. So let's go, right? So we got that in the appendix. It says, did the fish beings bring the Sabine doctrine? Partially. What the Sabines is doing, yeah, I mean, you could call it a doctrine, but it ain't really a doctrine. Everybody had their own traditions and ways that they did things based on what they learned from the beings that taught them, right? Now, the Sabines were a little different because they were more aware of certain things, and they didn't let other off-world beings come to their world and take advantage of them because they were more intelligent. So it's a difference. But the information, the Roman Catholic information comes later. The Sabines were way before that, right? We knew the real science of the information. Like I said, we didn't worship the sun because they talk about that in the Quran, right? About how the Sabines and Queen Sheba was worshippers of the sun in ancient Kemet. We didn't worship the sun. We just understood the different information in reference to the sun and how the sun provides for the planet. And we took that information and we assimilated it for the children into pretty much a doctrine, you can say that, right? Where we fictionalized created these characters to represent each particular aspect of the solar dialect, sort of say. All right. So the Dogong information becomes Christianity. The Dogong information, a lot of it becomes in movies like Man in Black, like we pointed out. A lot of those characters they showing you in Man in Black, they went over to Africa and talked to the Dogon people and wrote this stuff down and come back and put it into movies. And the Dogons already got all the mags to the beings that they were seeing. It wasn't just the fish beings that were coming, although the fish beings were leaders of these beings that taught them. And keep in mind the Nomos, those who claim to know the most, who goes back to Cyrus B, who become Ashtar Command. We got any questions so far? So now a secret order was set up of a priesthood which Credo Mutwa was a member of. This priesthood that was set up that kept the original teachings of the stars and the extraterrestrial beings, while another group proceeded to teach the dogmatic side, where they created this whole storyline based on astronomy and called their religion. Like I told people, my Bible guys, the Bible is literal history book. It's not religion. It's literal history. It's literal, and if you know exactly how to read it, everything can come quite clear for you. Hey, hit that. Hey, let me see some more people in the chat, man. We got to get lit. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Right, we getting lit. Okay, where we at? Where we at? Yeah, so like I say, we talking about. So we're dealing with bird beings. We're dealing with nomos. When we're dealing with this dogonic esoteric order. And so from this information, you form different other secret orders, like the Masons. Keep in mind, the Masons, when they trade the G in for the grand architect of geometry or whatever school you was in, they traded in for the sun. The sun. And a lot of their information is based off of astronomy in the lodge, based on Dogon's origins. A lot of the secret orders is based on astronomy, coming down from the Dogon orders, one of the oldest orders. And they still got there's a lot of Dogon priests right now that still hold the sacred orders. And these beings went over there and got that information. Some of the stuff they would tell them, and now they turned it into movies. Now, when I come and tell you that guys came from Cyrus that had a pair on their chin, you say Young L got that from Man in Black. But we already showed you the connection. I hope they didn't shut my chat down because I can't see nothing. But we keeping it clean and crispy as always, YouTube. Keeping it clean and crispy. What else we got? So now, if you go study any secret order, 60 to 90% of them is based on planets, planetary orbited, like Venus and Mars and the bright and morning star Venus. You know what I'm saying? It's all based on esoteric information. All these orders, which is the origin from the Dogons, from off-world. Go pull it up. The Dogons say that off-world beings landed in ships, silver-like crafts, came out, held his staff up, and said, "We are the Nomos people." And they gave him some sad story about how the humans defected and got kicked out of from the center star and got flushed out to Earth, which is way out here. They give him that story because everybody got their own perspective and their storyline that they tell when they come. But keep this in mind: what is the ancient order of the 19 galaxies? By that, I think you mean the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, who was the 19th elder. I think that's what you're trying to say. I think so. But that starts with Murdoch. Murdoch becomes Melchizedek, Amen, Amun-Re, Atum-Re, right? Ra. Yeah, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. That started when a group of 32 priests decided to come back and try to reorganize the planet and far as teach the Natharu rules, raise the Natharu rules. And we came back and first set up the halls of Amenti in the center of the earth. The Amenti. Keep in mind, you got do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Each was really the last do don't exist. But the T's are the oldest family. Then you got the Rays, as in Atun Ray, Amun Ray, Ray, same thing, right? But you got Ta Pu T, Mother Ni T. See, the T's is older family. So you got the halls of a mentee is when Murdoch now come back and set up the schools in the center of the earth. Then they come to the surface, him and Ningazita them, which is his brother, who also had the title Tahuti, which is the one that wrote the Emerald Tablets, and started to spread the information going around the whole world by boat and by other types of crafts they were using to go around and spread and teach the planet what they knew. And so he started setting up schools like Atlantis and the school of the city of the gods, and Nibaki, which was the oldest station, but became the what you call them the Giza plateaus, with the three pyramids that face Orion's belt, because these beings came from Orion as the Atlanteans, or as the Orion group, or as the Go'ulds, the Netharus, the Najarus, or it's different ways to pronounce it. The Tyrians. That's my first time hearing that. What's a triple triangle beam? It's my first time hearing that. I'm about to get back with you on that. It's my first time hearing something like that, brother. You might want to, drop a little bit more information on what you're saying on it. Triple triangle beam. It's interesting. Tri means three. Angle. You know what I'm saying? Triple triangle beam. It's my first time hearing that, man. Yeah, hit that like button. Shout out 23 Orchard. Yeah, so keep in mind, most of all your orders is based on why they teaching you religion. They doing everything in esoteric and everything in sun worship or moon worship or Saturn worship. What you think all these signs like Nike and all them about? Saturn, the car Saturn. Like all these cars is based on esoteric information. Toyota is based on Saturn. It's based on all this they symbols and they signs. It's all based on esoteric information. The sun, like Shell gas station, Exxon Mobil. It's based on pyramids, and it's based on esoteric pyramid and geometry type information and mathematics and science. Everything that they doing is in the background that's based on mathematics and science, while they telling you religion, which is dogma. So they want you to stay in dogma while they deal with science and mathematics and astronomy. And they telling you that it's evil when most of all the science is based on that. Yeah, hit that like button. We got any questions? We're trying to run this on about 30 minutes because we see that they like the short classes as well. So we got long joints, we got short joints, we got hot joints. Yeah, this is all the Zadok, the Murdoch Zadok. That's going back to the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. Now, check this out. We didn't call it the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek till later on, but it was called at one point the craft of Amun Ra. That's like one of the oldest points where it go back, because you got to keep in mind Amun is dealing with the coming in, ruling during the age of Aries. Mother Hathor was during the time of Taurus. Ningazita, Tahuti them, and Osiris and them was during the time of Leo, which is why they created the Sphinx during that time. It will let you know what signs of the ages they were in. We're going through the different ages. 2200, it's 2100 years per phase. So we're going through the different ages. So you see Mother Hathor with the horns, like I said, with the sun disk in the middle. She's telling you that that sun is in the age of Taurus, or the bull. When you see the phase of Amen, and Amen has a ram's head, he telling you that we in the rule or the age of Aries. Enlil ruled during the time of Taurus. Then Leo is during the time of the Sphinx, 10,500 years ago. So keep in mind in the background when you're studying different signs and symbols, or when you're studying certain secret orders or something, look for the esoteric connection where the sun or the moon or the Mercury or Mars or Jupiter, they using some of one of these symbols. They connecting they shit to one of these symbols. They're Libra, the two scales, right? That's right, D'Angelo, Pharaoh. You own it. The Libra, two scales. You know, so look at their connection when you're looking at these things. But it goes, like I say, back to the Dogons initially, the Dagon order coming down from the Nomos, who came from Cyrus B, who began teaching these people about beyond the stars, taught them about their planets, taught them about they had 25, actually it was 250,000 planets, and I think it said that 70% of them were covered with fresh water lakes. And I think Credo Mutwa went on to describe 8 of the worlds on one of the tapes that he put out. Right? Yeah, D'Angelo. Hey, so Hathor is Mother Ninti. Hathor is Mother Ninti, which is one of Nu's daughters. She becomes Hathor in ancient Kemet because these people translate over, the same people. The reason why she's breastfed in the age of Taurus, because this is when they had the Adam Project. During the age of Taurus is when they had the Adam Project, where they set up and started cloning on Mars, where they were abducting Homo erectus and then slicing their DNA with it and a couple other upgrades, boom, to create the Lulu Amalus. And she actually surrogate the first human mortal being, which is why they show her breastfeeding with the horns, like I said, with the sun disk. This is dealing in the Taurus, age of Taurus. And then shortly after that became the age of Leo, where the flood took place of Noah. The flood of Noah took place in the Leo age. We already put this out, man. And Noah, one of his name is Utna Fishtoon. Utna Fishmin. Utna Fishmin. Check that out. Utna Fishmin. We're just keeping it clean. It says, you said that Murdoch mode bird. Yeah, okay, all right. So the Anunnakis had already had bird genetics mixed in when they in their DNA when they came here. Going back all the way to when they came from the Pegasus. So some of the beings had reptilian, bird, because you gotta keep in mind everybody was mixing. Even Inky was part Dragonian. He wasn't full-blooded Anunnaki. So Murdoch even had reptilian in him, Dragonian, right? And then his mother Damkina was part Nomos. So he had Nomos. Murdoch had Nomos in him. He had Nomos. He had Dragon reptilian. So, and like I said, we pointed out that Eriska was part reptilian. Her mother was part reptilian and humanoid, these hominoid beings, which was Nanar's old lady. Because Nanar's baby was Inanna. That's the one he loved the most. But one of his other babies was Eriska. You got to go back and watch my tape, the Anunnaki Chronicles 1 through 12, man, on the live side. Watch 1 through 12, you get the whole storyline broke down for you right there. We're trying to keep this about 30 minutes. We kept it clean, YouTube. So we just want to point that out, man. Look for the zodiac information in these orders, and you'll crack the codes. even masonry, where they talk about 3, 5, and 7. 3 is the 3 stars in Orion's belt. 5 is the 5 stars in Arcturus, and the 7 is the 7 stars in the Pleiadians. So 3, 5, and 7. If you ask the average Mason, the Prince of Halls walking around with 3, 5, 7, what that mean? Half of them can't even tell you. And I ain't never been to the Yoga Lodge. Ask anybody that know. 3, 5, and 7 is dealing with zodiac information. 3 stars in Orion's belt, and technically, it's not even 3 stars in Orion's belt. It's 9 stars in Orion's belt, because those are quadruple star systems and tri-solar systems. Not really, but not really, Cyrus. But yeah, just hit me on Cash App, man, with your number, man. I got you. We'll chop it up. If you're intelligent, we might even bring you on the show for your night at the Apollo. For your night at the Apollo, man. Indeed, some of you come here as animal spirits and you evolve into humanoid spirits, which is why we pointed out in ancient Kemet and all around the world in all of our cultures that beings have zoo types. That's why over here we got what you call signs. My call sign on the land over here is Black Hawk. Rod Hayes, Chief Rod Hayes call sign is Chief Pontiac. The master teacher's call sign over here on the land is Maku Black Eagle Thunderbird. But like, so over there, you're saying that, like, Tahuti had the baboon, or the ibis bird, Haru had the hawk, Ra had the hawk, even Murdoch had the hawk, right? Kansu had the hawk as his zoo type. So we had even like, so over here in America, ancient Kemet over here, which is both ancient Kemet to me, because we had yachts, because the Sabines had yachts and we were going back and forth over here. We had helicopters. That's why you got those mounds that look like helicopter landing pads, because we had helicopters in ancient Kemet. It's stuff that I want you to know, man. It was already type 2 civilization in ancient Kemet. The Sabines were already type 2 civilization. But the Anunnakis reset us back to 0. That's what the beef is all about, man. We their children, we was about to get ready to pass them up, and they said, oh, no, you don't. You ain't old enough yet. We're going to reset you, start you over, and you're going to have to figure it out from scratch. Now, that technology is in the hand of the devil. Why? Because we had it all in books over in ancient Kemet, what they call it Alexandria, where they got all the books, then took them over to the Vatican, right? Still connected with the fish Dogon. And then some of those books had information in it about building helicopters, submarines, and yachts. Why you think America got all this technology first? Because they are part of that arm, the DC, District of Columbia, guns on your tumbler. The Wright brothers, they were 32nd, who had access to these logs, that they all this information, all this technology, they're inking them and Tahuti them put down in pen and pad and paperwork, so where you can read and redesign the shit. How you think America got it first? Why? Because besides Hitler and them was over there first, but they was in contact with Ashtar Command, who jumped time to try to beat us out. But America had access to those books. Though America is the military arm of the District of Columbia, or the three city states. Yeah, going all the way back. So why you think America got helicopters? And they not only did mention it, they name them after Native American tribes, like the Apache, the Chinook, as in Shinnecock. Yeah, we can't say too much, but you know, y'all air twist caps and turn heads. And we at the mark, man. What y'all got? Hey, man, show us some love. for back to school, man, on that cash app, bro. We got you, bro. For the kids. Tell them. Hey, yeah, man. So we hope we got the message over. We're gonna be doing more of these lives. Like I say, we're gonna be doing more of the slide shows. We're gonna get back doing the slide shows. We just wait on our other internet box to come, so we want to keep switching it back and forth. And then we're on a crunch right now, so on the time. Yeah, so we in the game, man. Peace and love. We got any more questions before we get out of here, man? We'll take about 1 or 2 more questions. What else you got? Shout out that boy D'Angelo Pharaoh. Shout out that boy Dre, man. Cherry Bay. Shout out Cherry Bay. So keep in mind, always look for the esoteric connection. And if anybody talking about some secret order, it's always dealing with the sun. Like I said, 357 for you got Masonic guys out there. 3 stars in Orion's belt, 5 stars in Arcturus, 7 stars in Pleiades. Keep in mind, this is mentioned of in Job chapter 9, where it says, "Where were you when I laid out the heavens? Orion, which maketh Orion, 3 stars. Pleiades, Arcturus, 5 stars. Pleiades, 7 daughters of Pleiades." Right there. So it's all esoteric. And half of the guys in the lodge don't even know that shit. That's the crazy part. Because they're trying to cover up the 1865 move, where it wasn't no free to slave thing. It was exile off your land after the Louisiana Purchase type thing. Go back and watch my tape called The Louisiana Purchase on the live side. That'll break that down for you. Simba. Yeah, M&Ms. Them M&Ms. Right? No, Master Mason. So you got the 2, so you got the M in your hand. See the M? So if I hold both of my hands up, well, you see the M right here, right? See the M in my hand? So if I hold both of my hands up, you get M&M. And that is actually a sign when they call for distress. Yeah, we got you down, man. You think we don't got your books over here? And we've trained by the master teacher. So we'll drop that on you. Yeah, you see the M? Hold both of your hands up, you get Master Mason. M&Ms. And that's one of the grand hell signs of distress, which they stole from ancient Kemet from the Haru grandson Kai. Kai got his hands up like this, and you go pull up the Pharaoh Kai, you see his hands up. They stole it. They stole it. They stole it. They stole it, family. Yeah, free the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, Chief Maku Black Eagle Thunderbird. Right? We're going to scream that till they free him, man, because we know what they up to, though. We know why they holding Baba. But they really should have, it's really, we'll talk about that later. It says, so we bloody. I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question on that. We want to run that 40-minute mark. We're at that 40-minute mark. Go ahead. Hit me with that next question, man. We'll get out of here. One more question. Yeah, Napoleon, little short joker, he was working for the Black Hand. In the background, the Black Hand was puppeting a group of beings called the Rothschilds, and specifically a being by the name of Nathan Rothschild, who went out to hire Napoleon to overthrow King George III. That's really what it was all about. Because keep in mind, Great Britain, Great Covenant, Berith Covenant, Great Covenant. What covenant? The covenant of the Moors. The Moorish Empire was Great Britain, ran by the Afar people who were Moors from the King George Williams III, right? Who they were trying to get control of the Moorish Empire. Notice that land that he invaded, it was controlled by the British Empire. Sudan, Egypt, parts of Australia, parts of South Africa, what you call them, the 13 colonies over here in the Mixum, was all controlled by Great Britain, the Moorish Empire. right? And so what that Napoleon thing was all about, he was what you call like not more than a front man. He was like a puppet or a pawn in the game used to go after King George. So when they hired Napoleon to attack King George had to borrow money from the Rothschilds. When he borrowed money from the Rothschilds, they put it in small print that they were going to take control of his parliament if he didn't pay the money back. They knew he wasn't going to pay the money back because they was inflating him and sabotaging his bank. So eventually, where he had to turn the parliament over to the Rothschilds, who being puppeted in the background, got the puppet. You know how a puppet got the hand, they doing like this with the puppet. So the black hand is inside the puppet. Keep in mind, the black hand is inside that puppet. Well, what they did is it had limestone on the outside and gold capstones, and the Arabs, so-called Arabs, because they not really the original Arabs, they invaded that land and then started taking that limestone, because limestone is high level in electricity and filtration of different things, and it looks good in the sun, so they took some of that off and then began building a mosque on our land once they invaded. I'm gonna go drop that tape Baba put out called Arab Invaders. I'm gonna put that tape on next, Arab Invaders, right? So you can hear Baba talk about that. So it depends. It depends. You have free will, right? Really not free will because multiple choice, really not free will, but a lot of beings over time of a certain amount of thousands, billions, it depends on how long you hear be processed, you evolve to, the main thing is to get back to a living soul. Become a living soul again. Yeah, so that, like I said, the Eminem, hold both of your hands up, you see Master Mason. Hey, go watch Ansar. Hey, go watch my tape called What Happens When You Die. We got a tape called What Happens When You Die? What is heaven? We pretty much answered all the questions. What is heaven? What is the universe? We got questions called What is hell? We got whole tapes on this. What is Nibiru? What does the inside of Nibiru look like? What's New Jerusalem? Who are the Hindus? Who are the Moors? Who are the Native Americans? I mean, we covered, the students of Malachi and pretty much covered everything. And now we getting ready to go to that next level and crack heads and twist caps. We're about to get up out of here, man. Hey, y'all, show us some love, man, on that cash out. We out, man. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Hotel. Right? Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.